Hello students, so today we will study chapter number 3, that is synthetic fibers and plastic. Okay, in previous class you have studied about the fibers that were natural fibers and synthetic fibers, but in that chapter you have only studied about natural fibers in details. Now in this chapter you will learn about synthetic fibers. Okay, so what is synthetic fibers? The fiber which are man-made and which are made with the help of chemicals, that fiber is known as synthetic fiber. Okay, so a synthetic fiber has a chain of many smaller units or very small chemical substances that are joined together. That small unit is known as monomer. These monomer join to form a long chain. This chain is known as polymer. Okay, so in the word polymer, poly means many and mers means unit. You can see in the first diagram there is a single chemical unit, it is called monomer, and when these monomer join together to form a chain, this is known as polymer. In second picture you can see a diagram, it is a microscopic diagram of carbon chain polymer. Okay students, now we will study about types of synthetic fibers. So first we will study rayon. Rayon is made by the chemical treatment of wood pulp. So wood pulp is obtained from the stem of the plant. It is made from natural substances, but it is man-made, so it is known as synthetic fiber. The wood pulp is treated with the help of chemicals and we obtain rayon. Rayon has the properties similar to that of silk. It is soft and shiny in texture and is also strong, so it was also known as artificial silk. It is also cheaper than silk. So rayon is mixed with cotton to make bed sheets, and it is also mixed with wool to make carpets. Okay, now we will come to nylon part. Nylon was introduced in 1931 and it was the first fully synthetic fiber which was prepared without using any natural materials. The nylon was prepared from air, water and coal. That is why it is called synthetic fiber, and it is the first fully synthetic fiber which does not need any natural substance to prepare. Okay, nylon is very strong, it is elastic, lustrous and very light and easy to wash. So it was very popular to make nylon clothes. Nylon is also used to make many items such as ropes, stands, toothbrushes and even parachutes also. Nylon is such strong, if you will take a wire of nylon and a steel wire, the nylon wire will be stronger than the steel wire. Okay, now another synthetic fiber is polyester and acrylic. Talking about polyester, polyester is a synthetic fiber. Fabrics made from this fiber does not get wrinkled easily as like of cotton. It remains very crisp and it is very easy to wash also. So it is used for making dress materials. Terylene is a popular example of polyester. It can be drawn into very fine fibers that can be woven like cotton, silk, etc. So terylene prepares a yarn, and from that yarn a particular fabric can be made. Okay, another example is PET, that is polyethylene terephthalate. It is a very familiar form of polyester, example of polyester, and it is used for making bottles, utensils, wires and many other products. Okay students. So natural fibers and synthetic fibers, they have their own property, and based on their properties many products are being made from them. Now children, we will come to the plastic part. As you know, every day we use many plastic products, so plastic is also kind of synthetic fiber. Plastic is easily moldable and can be drawn into various shapes. Plastic can be recycled, it can be reused, it can be melted, and it can be drawn into wires as well as sheets, and it can be dyed into various colors. We can obtain various colors of plastic. That is why it is used now in every possible products. Okay, the arrangement of plastic can be linear, branched or cross-linked. You can see in the diagram, the first chain is linear chain. Many smaller monomer units join together to form a linear or straight polymer chain. Then in second, it is branch chain. From a single unit of polymer chain, the branches arise, and the third one is cross-linked polymer chain. From the linear chain, the branches arise and it joins the another branch of polymer unit. Okay. So children, there are mainly two types of plastic, that is thermoplastic and second one is thermosetting plastic. We will talk about thermoplastic. This plastic can be remolded or melted when applied to hot temperature and can be solidified on cooling. Means if there is a plastic product, it can be molded into another shape. So this kind of plastic is known as thermoplastic. The example is given, it is polythene that we use generally. Then second is thermosetting plastic. It is a plastic which when once molded into a shape, it cannot be remolded in another form or it cannot be melted again. If it is molded in one shape, it gets hardened. It generally breaks, but it cannot be molded into another shape. Example, bakelite. It is a poor conductor of heat and electricity and it is used to make electrical switches. Okay, another example we can take of thermosetting plastic is melamine. Melamine is also a poor conductor of heat, and the firefighters which they use dresses are made of melamine. So it is a poor conductor of heat. That is why it is used for heating, non-heating purposes also. Children, now you will see why plastic is used everywhere. It is used because of its properties. Plastic are used to make many materials. This is because of their lightweight. It is low in price. It has good strength and it is very easy for handling. Being lighter as compared to metals, plastic are generally used in making cars, aircraft and many other more materials. If we'll count how many products are made from plastic, the list will be endless. Okay, now first property of plastic is that plastic is non-reactive. Plastic do not get rusted like iron. Plastic also does not react with air and water. Therefore, it is used to store chemicals and other things also. Okay, so storing containers and other products are made from suitable plastics. Second property of plastic is light, strong and is also durable. Plastic is light, very strong and it is durable and it can be molded into different shape and sizes. It is cheaper than metals, so there are many articles of rare as well as daily use which can be made from the plastic instead of metals. Third property of plastic is it is very poor conductor of heat and electricity also. As plastic is poor conductor of heat and electricity, so it is used for covering of electrical wires and it is also used to make electrical switches. Handles of frying pans, screwdrivers, cookers, it is also made up of plastic because it is a poor conductor of heat as well as of electricity also. So students, now we will study plastic and their effect on environment. As you know, there are two types of materials that are biodegradable and non-biodegradable. So biodegradable are those materials which can be decomposed naturally or which can be decomposed by the action of microorganisms. They are called as biodegradable. And the material which does not decompose by a natural process or by microorganism, they are known as biodegradable. Plastic is a non-biodegradable material. It takes several of years to decompose, so it is not environment friendly. It causes environmental and land pollution. Besides, if plastic is burned, okay, so the synthetic fiber does not burn completely. It takes much time to burn and it releases very poisonous gases in the atmosphere which causes air pollution. So to solve this problem, we have to avoid the use of plastic as far as possible. We can use bags made of cotton or jute if you go for shopping. Okay, it is better to recycle the plastic. Recycling means we can use plastic bottles again and again. Okay, so as a responsible and aware for the environment, we should always follow and remember the 4R principle that is given in the slide, that is reduce. We can reduce the use of plastic as we talked about earlier. Using plastic bags should avoid and we should use cotton bags or jute bags. Then second is reuse. We can reuse many plastic materials, like take example of water bottle. Water bottle can be used again and again. Then another is recycle. We can recycle the plastics in another form, in another product. Okay, and last one is recover. If there is anything broken of plastic, we can recover it. So this is the 4R principle to minimize the use of plastic. Children, now we will see how materials take time to decompose. Okay, and you can see in the table, the first table is peels of vegetable, fruits, okay, which we expel out from our kitchen. It is a waste from our kitchen. It takes approximately 1 to 2 weeks and it is a biodegradable substance. Okay, now we'll talk about paper. Paper takes about 10 to 30 days. It is also biodegradable. Then another is cotton cloth. It takes about 2 to 5 months and it is also biodegradable. Wood is also biodegradable. It takes about 10 to 15 years to decompose. Woolen clothes, it takes about a year to decompose and it is also biodegradable. Talking about metals like tin, aluminum and other metal cans, it takes about 100 to 500 years for decomposition, and it is a non-biodegradable material. And last is plastic bags. It takes several years, maybe 100, 500 or even 1000 also, and is also a non-biodegradable substance. So children, from this table you can understand that plastic bags take many years for decomposition. So we should avoid the use or should minimize the use of plastic to save environment, to save water pollution, land pollution as well as air pollution. Okay, so I hope you have understood the slides well, you have understood the chapter well. If you have any doubt, you can see the video again and query. Thank you.